Hi, I'm Jacob Mahler. This is my journey. So I first caught my dad downstairs watching a football match. And then, seeing him by himself, I joined him. I started watching the game with him, and I was like so interested in the sport, and I kept asking him questions about it. And eventually, I said, why not? I just want to play this game, play this sport, and I took it up. So basically, since I was 7 years old, me and my dad had been always watching football together. My dad is is the biggest influence for me in football. He does tell me what to do, what I should do. He cooks for me. He cooks make sure I eat right and everything. Make sure I'm always at training, resting and everything. So he has influenced me in so many ways. That I can't imagine what I would be without him. And so goes to my mum. She also has done so much to me. I think they're proud. I hope they're proud, but they do say I made them proud. But there's still so much I want to accomplish and want them to see me be able to do and represent the country in more major tournaments. And I just want to make them proud at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I play football also for my passion, but also to see my parents happy and make them proud. They kind of do come for most of my trainings and most of my matches, all my matches and most of my trainings. They make it a thing. And my mom is noisy. I can always hear my mom shouting in the background. I told her a few times already just to tone it down a bit. My dad is very quiet. My dad is very, very quiet. He likes to see the game, and after the game he will give me his thoughts on the game, of course. But my mom I can hear her screaming, and it's like, she starts screaming, and I can say, no, that's my mom, oh no, that's my mom, when it's a challenge or when I'm tackled, it's like, hey ref, I can hear her shouting in the background, and I always tell her, you need to relax, mom, you need to calm down, just let me do my thing, and we can talk after the game. Don't embarrass me so much, But yeah, I really appreciate her for all that shouting. So it does motivate me, and also it's a good feeling to see that she's there to support me. So is for my dad. I do feel a bit nervous. There's obviously going to be nervousness in any tournament you participate, but at the same time, I feel confident, in this team. I feel that we can do something, we can. I know people are putting us off already with, we're the likes of Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand, no chance. But I feel we as a team, we have a very strong a bond together and also a strong desire to win. We want to win. We want to prove people wrong. We want to become the upset. We are the underdogs, but we don't mind being the underdogs. We want to go out there and we just keep on fighting throughout the 90 minutes. When you have that flag on your chest, I think it always reminds me saying that, Jacob, you need to go out there and you have to die on the country on the field for your country. You need to die. You need to go out there. It's basically a war. You need to fight. You need to put your body on the line. And I make sure I remind myself, Jacob, today you go out for war, you go out for battle. Make sure you leave the field with no regrets and make sure you put everything out there. So yeah.
The Silver Fox Hustle podcast, the latest one, is episode number 55. Now, if you haven't already done so, please follow us on YouTube, Spotify, and we're on Apple Podcasts as well. Now, in the studios today, I'm very happy to have two professional footballers plying their trade in the Singapore Premier League. Both have won the Young Player of the Year accolade, one in 2019 and the other one just last year. Both are technically good on the ball, but play in somewhat different roles for their respective clubs. Hopes are high for both these players for the near future, for club and country. Now, welcome to the Silver Fox Hustle podcast, Mr. Hami, Syahin, and Mr. Saifullah, Akbar.
Hi Shashi, thank you for having us on the podcast. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure having you guys here. When you are young, people say that it's easier to get or break into the first team. It's easier than to stay there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's always good. Yeah, you got there, but then to stay there, you got to be better or even maintain, but actually you got to go better than that because other people are catching up as well, right? So I think that's very important, and that's why never ever take your foot off the pedal. For both of you as well, you're suffering from an injury, but you, especially Saifullah, right now you're playing consistently at club football as well. So you cannot ever take your foot off the pedal, right? And that's the only advice I can give you, right? The most important thing that you learned from your overseas trip, Hami, you start with you. The most important thing that, you take away anything else, football or what, the most important thing, it could be a life skill, it could be a footballing skill or whatever. So what is the most important thing you learned?
For me, I would say working hard lah, basically. Yeah. To make sure that, like what Saifullah said, to make sure every training you can't go easy,
Yeah.
And also independent lah. Like what I said,
Yeah.
from sports school journey,
Yeah.
It's the same thing when you go overseas.
Correct.
You have to live alone. So, like my goal is to play abroad in the the coming
Yes,
time. So that's the life skill that
Okay.
I try to grab it with me, being independent, and to make sure that I can live alone and still playing my football at the professional level lah.
Right. How about you,
Best.
Saifullah?
I think for me, what I bring with me is always responsibilities. Like I have to be responsible enough to make sure I
Yeah.
work hard every training
Okay.
and all that. Just as what I learned at Europe.
Yeah.
So responsible in so many other ways. My meals, my sleep, and all that. I have to be responsible of all of that to
Right,
make sure
right.
I can be at my best to perform on the pitch.
Any plans in the pipeline overseas? No? Yes? You have any plans?
I mean,
Maybe your agent can work on this.
I'm not sure if Ashley's hearing about it.
She will.
I mean, obviously, I'm always looking to play overseas. So if there's
Yeah.
anything that comes up, I would always try to grab it with both hands.
Any team or country you wish to? I know you said this in the last podcast, but anything, any special?
Nothing
Yeah.
concrete on the table, but I would hope to start off with maybe Thailand to
Yeah.
play. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, Hami?
Like for me, I've been speaking to Zulfami Arifin.
Okay.
I've always asked him how is Thailand and all, and he always disturb me. I don't know whether he disturb me or not but he say you can come to Thailand anytime. He
Right.
told me that so that kind of motivate me to
Yeah.
work even harder, to play in Thailand. Yep.
Let's talk about the national team a little bit, right? How proud are you guys to be wearing the flag on your chest? Tell me.
I think it's very difficult to describe the feeling. I can still remember my first time.
When was this?
It was back in June when
Yeah.
the World Cup qualifiers when I played against Palestine. So when Coach Tatsuma called my name to come in, I was I had goosebumps all over me, and then, especially at a very big stadium. So I cannot imagine if there was fans. I think it would be even more incredible, the feeling. So it was surreal. So I just tried to enjoy the moment, but up till today I can still remember and basically still feel the kind of feeling to wear the jersey for the first time and play on the pitch. Yeah.
Hami?
Definitely is the proudest moment, to be able to represent Singapore at the highest stage, and also like my mom dream was to make sure that one of her son be able to play in the national stadium. So in 2019 I made her dream come true, and I felt happy, sad, I don't know, it's a mixed emotion, and I could see my mom like tearing up.
Wow.
She was almost wanted to cry. Yeah.
Lovely. It's it's a pity, like I said, the World Cup qualifiers, there weren't any fans, because I commentated on all the games for Singapore, and it was obviously results didn't go our way, but for any young player to go to play in a World Cup qualifying game as well.
Yeah.
It's not so it's kudos to you as well for being talented. Of course, you need to get there, and of course kudos to Tatsuma as well, Yoshida, to be able to give a young boy a chance to play in a World Cup qualifying match. I think that's brilliant. Now, going back to Tatsuma, right, how has it been to the young boys? His relationship with the young boys and training wise, how has it been for him?
I think he's to everyone he's quite fair. He's been pushing every single one, especially even the young boys and the senior boys. So it is good because as a coach, I think if a coach is demanding, then that's where you as a player wouldn't like we mentioned earlier, wouldn't take a foot off a pedal. We will keep pushing and all that. So Coach Tatsuma is very much a demanding coach.
How different is he from other coaches you've played under? How different? Just name me one or two. Like, how different is he, or is it the
I think
same?
comparing with the local coaches, probably maybe our local coaches are not as demanding in terms of demanding like the intensity in training and all that. But like for Coach Tatsuma, even Coach Kim that I'm with now, he's both of them are very very demanding.
Right.
Yeah, every training you are just pushing yourself.
Nice.
Yeah.
When you first joined the national team for training, right? Which year was that for you, Hami? 2019.
The first national team I think is 2017.
17, right?
Yeah.
Who did you look up to in terms of role models? Like the first time when you got called up, right?
Yeah.
And then you walk into the dressing room, the players were changing and stuff like that. Who did you look up to and say, okay, wow, I'm actually
I mean, there were plenty of names, no. My first roommate was Daniel Bennett.
Okay.
He was 10 years age apart.
Yes,
no?
yes.
And I didn't talk much in the room. I don't know what to.
I'm sure you didn't talk much as well.
I don't know what to talk to him. The only conversation was I asked him how is JB like, because he stay in Johor Bahru.
Oh, okay.
That's the only conversation I made with him. And going to the changing room, you see the likes of Haris, Safwan.
Yeah.
In training, you have to give your all, basically.
Right.
Even in training, Safwan from the back will scold you if you didn't.
Was it daunting for you? Obviously you'd be nervous, but was it like very?
I don't know. I could say my first training was scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was scary. Because as a youngster, I want to make sure that I make everything right. Make every passes right. And I try to reduce my mistakes, because I know whenever I make a mistake, I will get scolded by the senior players, because they expect something from a youngster. If you come up to national team at a young age, so it's hard. It's hard at first, but after a while, I get to adapt and getting advices from them. And they are like friends to you, actually. They are nice people. Yeah.
How about you, Saifullah?
I think I from a young age I looked up to Haris.
Okay.
And then to now be able to share the dressing room and the same jersey with him, it's really incredible, because now I get to see his daily routines, what he does, and he's such a professional. So I looked up to him, and he's very humble. Even just I give you for example, even for me as a youngster, when I went for national team just recently, he would laugh when he hear this, because he disturbed me about this. But coach, every training we have to wear shin pads. So the last training I forgot about my shin pad, so I trained without shin pads. And then they didn't emphasize this campaign. But Haris still wears his shin pad, with a few others. But so that's so when I see him, I know even with his caliber like that, he still do the basic things. Like wearing shin pads. He doesn't let all of that slip, and that is to me, it's like very professional and very humble. So I looked up to him.
It's a very, very good point, because people sometimes think that being professional is can be the most complex of things, but it's the simplest of things, isn't it? It's the simplest of things, right? Like it could be anything, like you said, shin pads on or whatever, right? So very, very good point. Goals for the national team. What are your do you have a specific goal? I asked Hami first, right? So specific goals, I don't know, could be making 50 appearances by the time you reach 30 years old, for example. Any specific goals to score 10 goals or whatever?
To be realistic, I do not set expectation for any goals or assists, but for me, my aim goal was to be the starter for every matches,
right?
Like Haris Harun.
Yeah.
And also to make sure that my name is always in the national team. So that's my goal for now, for the national team, because I'm still young.
Yeah.
So I'm making sure that I will get every call up for the national team. So that's my goal. Yeah.
How about you, Saifullah?
Yeah, nothing different from what Hami just said. To always be a regular in the national team, and then to always get a starting spot in the national team, maybe one of the first few names on the list for any call ups.
Okay.
So that's like you mentioned, it's easy to get there, but not easy to maintain. So I would want to just maintain my spot in the national team.
Okay. Saifullah, the LCS project, right? You've been there for how long already?
Almost 2 years.
2 years, right? Now tell us about the LCS project, right? How good is it? And do you have a personal goal at the club? Or obviously take away your aspirations to play abroad. Maybe I don't know, next year you could go abroad. But at the moment, thinking of LCS, how good is this project? Is there something more that we don't know about, or is it right there in the papers? Okay, this is what LCS is going to do. We're going to build this. We're going to build this, and we're going to build the best club in Singapore. And is that it?
Yeah, I think as what they have said in the papers, they want to be the best club, but like you said, the project is very interesting to me, because they the way they want to be as a club, the professionalism, things like having laundries for and all that. So you don't have that in other clubs, so
so what, your training gear is washed after
wash, so we don't have to, so basically we just come to training without anything, because our boots are also in the dressing room, so you just bring your towels, that's all. So
do you have that, Hami?
Young Lions?
Young Lions I think have, right?
Young Lions don't have. You still have to bring your own training gear.
Right? Okay. Carry on, please, Saifullah.
I think those simple things, it makes you feel professional, and then now that they're gonna have our own the one in Haifa, our own facilities, will be done in April next year. So very much looking forward to that. At least you get to feel like you're a professional player in Singapore.
Right.
But as you said, putting my overseas dreams aside, I think as much as possible, I would love to be a club legend over here at LCS. Play as much games as possible, and then be a very good player to them. Yeah.
You do know that Forrest Lee is the richest person in Singapore, right?
Yeah.
Just out, right? And probably that's where all players should be at the moment.
I hope he's listening to this, and maybe he can up my salary a bit.
Please, why not? Mr. Forrest Lee, if you're listening in, you can
Negotiate.
raise no need to negotiate, just raise Saifullah's salary, and you can sponsor this podcast as well. Right? I please hope, I really hope so, right? I'm doing a lot of good things for your club. Hami, I want to ask you about this, okay? Your aggression, okay, and maybe a little bit of a nasty streak in you, okay? When I say nasty, it's not in a bad way, okay? Because you talk about legends. We talk about Arsenal's legends. Dennis Bergkamp, he had a nasty streak. You know that. We've got players who had Patrick Vieira, nasty streak, but all legends, all brilliant players, right? Where did you get this from? Because I know you have a nasty streak. I commentate on games, and I know you get stuck in. You don't give a peep on anything. You just go in there, and then that's it. Where did it come naturally to you, or somebody said something?
It's mainly from my brother.
Right.
He pushed me every time.
Okay.
When I was primary 5, primary 6, he brought me to his Sunday league games.
Okay.
Play against older players.
Yes.
It was hard at a point of time, because they will basically, Sunday league players, they will just go in every tackle,
Correct.
recklessly.
Yeah.
So that somehow helped me in terms of my play now, and also he every time advise me to before games, at home, he will always advise me to make sure that don't be scared of every challenges that will come to you.
Okay.
I want to make sure that you put out your first tackle there to make sure to make sure that the opponents feel your presence there.
Right.
So that's what always play in the back of my mind.
Right.
Like I will always go in every tackle.
Did any coach stop you from doing that? Like pull you back a bit, say, hey, you're already on a yellow card. Hold on, relax. No.
I think the recent one in Young Lions, our assistant coach, the coach Ko, he did talk to me like I need to control a bit, But when I was growing up, Coach Nazri and all, they will know my playing style. They will know that I will go in every tackle without being afraid lah.
Okay.
So that's the part that they will tell me to make sure that I still keep doing it, because like Coach Nazri, he say you need this kind of players in the field. To make sure that the opponent is aware of you, So knowing that my size is small, so I want to make sure that my presence is there. Like people know that I'm there, and I'm not afraid of going in any tackles.
I'd say this. Please do not stop that, because you can't control that, but you got to go in hard. You got to go in fair, and it doesn't matter, right? But of course, you got to do it with with this, thinking about the cards and stuff like that. So well done. Let's talk about the Young Player of the Year awards, man. You guys won it in 2019 and 2020, right? So you won it last year. How was that feeling? Being the so-called the best player, not so-called, you are the best young player in Singapore, right? Obviously playing the league, right? So what was that feeling like?
It was amazing feeling, because I did not see that coming.
Okay.
I wasn't thinking about the young. I actually forgot they had that award.
Okay.
So until
who were in that who were nominated? You,
Jacob, and I think one of the
Harith.
No, Harith, yeah.
Harith, right?
Yeah, me, Harith,
Okay.
and
Jacob,
Jacob. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I didn't even know. I forgot that the award existed until towards the end of the season, when my staff told me that I was nominated. So and then I when knowing that, I also didn't expect to win it. So when I won it, it was an amazing feeling. But again, mixed emotion, because last season was a pretty short one, because we only had like about 11 to 12 games, I think. So if I were to, like, for this year, I'm actually targeting for that, to try to win back to back. I think the only player that did that was like Indra Shadan.
Okay.
So that's one of my personal targets. And
so
goals.
now we know. Now we know. If everybody's listening in, Saifullah is gunning for the Young Player of the Year award as well this season. No, that should be the way, man. You can't just sit on your laurels and just think, okay, I've done it last year, and just carry on with our lives, right? Keep on going. How about you, Hami? You won it the previous year. How was the feeling like?
It was.
Were you at Young Lions or at
I was at Home United.
Alright. So if you want to be the young player of the year, either play for LCS or Home United, and I probably have a good chance, right? Hami, yes. How was your?
I think 2019 was my year basically.
I know.
I feel
Yes.
that year happened. A lot of things happened for me.
Yeah.
Playing in Home United, basically, it helps me to develop me better as a player. Playing with senior players. So the senior players there helped me a lot, and I think credits to them. That's the reason why I managed to win the Young Player of the Year, and it was a good feeling because the 2 years before or a year before, I was only the top 3. I was with Irfan and Hazwan Alim.
Right.
And to be honest, I was a bit disappointed, but I didn't expect much to win lah.
That year Hazwan won, right?
Yep,
Hazwan
correct.
won. Yeah.
So it was a good feeling to win the Young Player of the Year in 2019.
It definitely was your year in 2019 because I remember doing commentary as well, and you were playing in the middle of the park for Home United.
Correct.
And you weren't shy of getting the ball off the defenders and stuff like that. You were the go-to guy, the pivot man in midfield. So it was good, great, well done, right? Now we're going to the last bit here. Is the quick fire round.
Alright.
Okay, it's quick fire means quick fire. Ask you a question, answer it quickly, right? Right, don't worry, no pressure. It's very easy one. I start out with the easiest of questions I can find for you. Okay, so both of you will answer the same questions, right? Favorite food and drinks? Simple.
Aglio olio.
And drink?
Water.
Nasi ayam and Coke.
Favorite movie?
Any Marvel movies.
Any Marvel movies? Yeah, just name one. Your favorite? Spider-Man.
TV series Money Heist.
Okay. Watch the latest season?
Watch already.
Finish already?
Yep.
Distractions. The best coach you played under, putting you in a spot?
Currently now, Coach Kim.
Because he's your coach right now, that's why you say
He's
that.
honestly one of
The best coach.
the
Why?
better ones.
Why?
Yeah, because I think he brings me and the team on a different level.
Why?
He's very demanding and he's very detailed in what
Yeah.
he does. He very simple things. He emphasizes a lot on it. Yeah.
Best coach?
Coach Nazri Nasri.
Why?
He gives me that freedom to express myself in the pitch,
Nice.
playing as attacking mid. So and also he believes in me. Yeah.
Lovely. Favorite local player?
Haris? Yeah.
Local lah.
He might say Zul.
Big
No
Zul.
lah, Zul
For
is
me.
overseas already, what? I
Yeah,
think Haris. I will be Haris.
Haris as well? Okay. Now, best dressed player? Saifullah, come on.
Local or any
No, local, of course local.
Local lah. Hassan Sani.
Hassan Sani?
Yeah.
Why?
He has good body and all that. So anything he wears is perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ryan Stewart lah.
Why?
That's the worst. Yeah.
That's
the worst.
No, I'm coming to that. So really, best dress.
best,
Yeah, best dress.
Best dress would be I think for my previous year I think would be Zafan lah.
Zarfan.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, why?
He always come to training like as if he want to go out. Basically,
Clubbing after that.
I don't know where he want to go like every time after training.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, worst dressed player, my friend.
Ryan Stewart.
Why?
He always wear some like pink color shorts and then don't know what color shirt. Just the color coordination is just not there lah. Basically.
Okay, how about his brother?
His brother is okay.
Much better,
Yeah, much better. Way better I think.
Okay. How about you?
From my previous teammate Young Lions, Joshua Pereira.
Why?
he,
He's in NS now, right?
yeah, he's in NS now.
Why?
He just comes sometimes in his boxers also with.
Seriously?
Yeah, like the shorts like really high up. And,
Okay.
And
Sometimes
also,
he doesn't iron his shirt also. His button-up shirt is always crumpled up. So it's,
Abi, why?
and
Yes.
also he wears singlet to
Yeah.
Joshua.
Joshua, yeah. Fair enough. Nice, you see? We know things that we don't. Your toughest opponent, individual player, toughest one. Your opponent, like a player.
I would say Hami.
Your toughest opponent
Yeah.
in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean,
because it's hard.
most of the time I play against Hami and then
Okay.
he's one of the players that it's really hard to. I wouldn't like it if Hami's on the other side.
Right.
That's I think that's fair enough to say that he's the
How about you?
toughest opponent.
I think it will be the recent national team campaign lah. Is it local? No, right?
You know, can be any.
I think the Saudi captain.
Faraj, Salman Al Faraj.
Yeah.
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 Why?
He's skinny but he's smart.
You played, right? You came on in the second half and you whacked somebody.
No lah, the
No,
Saudi one I
he
started.
played
You
the whole
started.
game,
yeah.
You started, right?
I whacked the
You
number
whacked somebody,
10.
right?
Number 10.
Okay. Right. So that the captain.
The captain
Why?
is, I don't know, he's skinny but he's
The one with the beard, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
he's really smart.
Salman
Yeah.
Al-Faraj, yeah. Right. Okay, as a team, which is the hardest opponent, team-wise? A team that you wouldn't want to play against?
Locally or anything?
Anything.
Saudi.
Saudi?
Yeah.
How are you?
For me, any Japanese team.
Even Albirex.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, they are just they are not tired
Okay.
throughout the 90 minutes,
Fair
and they are technically gifted, like I think every player. You
Okay.
know.
Okay, I want to ask you this. I don't know whether it's a superstition or whatever, right? A ritual before a game, Hami. Something that you do. It could be anything. Vomit before a game. I see some players like to puke before a game.
No lah, me basically just like normal prayers
Just a
like,
normal
like my
prayer.
mom will ask me to do, and also I will drink this like the holy water
Zam-zam.
Zam-zam before I go out of house.
Seriously?
That's what my
From the
mother-
house lah.
yeah,
You don't bring
yeah
the thing to the stadium lah.
So every time before game I will do that lah.
For me, it's just make sure I go and pee and wash my face as well.
That's it.
Yeah.
No superstition or whatever.
No,
ah.
yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, Ronaldo or Messi? Saifullah.
Ronaldo.
Or Messi? Hami.
Messi.
Okay. Oh, different views. The player you would most want to meet, Saifullah. A player. Ronaldo?
Yeah.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry. Nice. Who will win the EPL and SPL this season?
Chelsea.
SPL?
Line City.
Arsenal.
I'm stopping the recording now.
No lah, I think it will be Manchester United lah, with Ronaldo coming back. You know.
Really? You think so?
I think lah.
Okay.
I
We'll hold you to this. SPL.
think SPL will be Sailors lah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, just recap a little bit. You guys are 3 points off now.
2, I think. 2 or 3. Yeah.
You don't even know, Saifullah.
I'm all about. I just want to win the next 5 games.
Okay, fair enough. See, good answer. How you defend that? Well done, guys. Now, just before we go, just one last word from you guys, right? This episode, Silver Fox Hustle takeaway is for you. What is your takeaway? Your biggest takeaway and your advice for players coming up the ranks? Obviously, you're still young, but you must have an advice for a young player, right? So, what is the biggest takeaway from this episode?
I think for me, for young players, especially myself, I take it to myself as well. Never skip the little things. Never skip a day not doing the little things. You know, those things like sleeping early and all that. Never skip. Don't think that it's okay to skip one day of it. So I think it's important to be consistent for you to perform consistently. Yeah.
How about you, Hami?
For me, is to always work hard.
Yeah.
And also, like for myself, don't be afraid to when you go into new environment. When you get out of your comfort zone, don't be afraid to play your own football, because by playing your own football and enjoy the football, you will get your performance will just come naturally, basically.
Right.
Yep.
Guys, any last words from you guys? I totally enjoyed this session with you guys. Learning certain things that I don't know already, and I'm sure listeners who are listening in, they will know as well. And I totally enjoyed. Thank you so much, Saifullah.
Thank you,
for
Sasi.
coming on. Hami as well. Thank you for coming in. Good luck with the rehab.
Thank you.
Hope to see you next year. Strongly hope for you, my friend, to win the Young Player of the Year award at the
Hopefully
end.
next time I'm here, I bring the trophy.
The trophy, as well as please ask Forestly about the sponsorship.
I will.
Thank you so much. This has been the Silver Fox Hustle podcast, the latest episode number 55. And if you haven't done so, please follow us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. We are on there, and don't forget to subscribe to that as well. Till the next episode, the hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Cheers.